So Pelosi was speaking earlier today. That's the major news out of this conference. She's going to come and give her speech. How are the progressives going to react? Because people are very frustrated with how things are going these days in terms of how the Democrats are delivering progress, or are they not getting progress? Are they getting the right legislation, et cetera? So she comes to speak, and boom, Code Pink jumps up with a banner on Israel. Obviously they want them to stop the Gaza blockade, and then all of a sudden somebody starts screaming. And what was cool is Secret Service jumps into action. And I hadn't seen them before, but all of a sudden as people got up and there was some commotion, Secret Service was like, and they were on on watch. And that was kind of cool. So then the person screaming, Pelosi does the right thing, says, oh, you know what? Okay, let me hear you out. What is it? And it's apparently about the Community Act, and they want to stay, their chant was, our homes, not nursing homes. I don't think it was particularly clever, but nonetheless, so she's screaming like, I don't want to go to a nursing home. Okay, and Nancy Pelosi's like, okay, look, I don't want you to go to a nursing home either. Let's talk this out. She's a politician. I don't know which side she's actually on in that, because there's the side that they're theoretically on, and there's the side practically they're actually on. But that's okay. It's a protest. Everybody's in, we're liberals, we're progressives, we get protests, right? It's not a big deal. Now, here's where it took a disastrous turn. They didn't stop. After Pelosi talked to them, they're still not appeased. And this is in the middle of her speech. They went on for 20 minutes as Pelosi continued to speak, chanting and chanting and chanting. Now, apparently it's a group called ADAPT. They were worried about the Community Choice Act, but that protest was so ineffective, I didn't know which side of the Community Choice Act they were on. I don't know if they were pro, they were against. They just kept screaming. And I hate that, because look, it's okay to do protests, and it's okay to be loud. It's okay to grab attention. It's just when someone else is speaking, you have to let them speak. And if you don't, well, then you've shut down everybody's speech. And I've said it a million times, whether it's the conservatives or progressives who do it, or whether it's a conservative or progressive speaking, can't have it, can't play with it, can't win with it. So Nancy Pelosi's in a really tough spot. Now, as far as the organizers, it's like there's 12 of these guys, and some of them are physically disabled and they're in wheelchairs. There's not enough security or staff to escort everybody out of the building. And then some of them, honestly, I went and talked to them to see if there was an organizer, and there didn't appear to be an organizer on the floor, and you couldn't really speak to them. And honestly, some of them were mentally disabled, and whoever sent them in is despicable. I mean, you're going to put them in this situation where they've got to deal with this, possibly with the Secret Service. They are sent in to disrupt the speech, and you can't talk to them, to some of them. And so it was ridiculous. But now, so the interesting part of it was Pelosi, some were saying, hey, do you want to, that's it, the speech is over. And Pelosi said, no, I'm going to continue with my speech. And she gave her speech. It was brave. It was, it was a strong speech. And I don't really agree with a lot of the things she says. And the protest was so counterproductive. At the end, I give her a standing ovation just for finishing the speech. So, I mean, they took every ally they could have possibly had and turned them into an enemy for their cause. And they took people who might not be for Pelosi and turned them into allies for Pelosi. So in some ways, it's a big win for Pelosi. And at the end, the organizers, Roger Hickey and stuff, came out and raised their hand like a champ. And that was the moment from that speech. And you got to give her credit for fighting through that. And it was certainly an interesting moment. If anybody could hear the speech. I mean, the chant was significantly loud, and most of the people had real trouble listening to the speech.